I have too many YouTube channels, please subscribe to them all, thank you. Hello everyone who just wants to build planes and almost forgot that they started a series about building planes. I am BorderWise and welcome back to building a complete plane. One plane at a time. Last time we did a jet fighter, today we're building a propeller plane, so think World War II style fighter. So, gun planes in From the Depths are actually, they're pretty good. They're actually as good as missile planes depending on how you build them. I can't promise miracles today, but we're gonna start with building, and we're also gonna explore a few, I guess, exploits you could call them. They may or may not actually be considered exploits, but anyway, let's get going. We're gonna get rid of this little thing here. We're gonna start, as ever, with the mainframe. Where are we gonna go? We're gonna go here. Mainframe. Card slot. And gunplanes need to get kind of close, so I'm just going to be sure to put some in. I'm a fan of using stone poles these days. You do not have to do this. I might not do that actually. That's aim point. Let's do something like that. Target clusters of blocks, yes please. And the idea is we are going to have like nice general purpose anti-air ammo here. So let's do that. Per range and per propulsion. That'll probably do. And probably we want this guy to go for smaller things, so that should work. And wireless transmitter over here, and inter-vehicle transmitter. And unlike the missile plane, which does not need detection, this thing is going to need detection. So we need to work out what that is actually going to look like. Okay, so let's work that out. I'm just going to do duct tape. This is not permanent, by the way. This is just the bare minimum of detection we're going to need. We're probably going to need slightly more than this, just to be sure, and something like that. So we need roughly, we'll say 6, probably more. So let's do this, and also wireless transmitter. Can't forget that. Alright, so now we need 9, of course we do. GPPBPBPBT. How's your GPPP? Your general practitioner. Right, so you might be looking at this and thinking this is very expensive, so wouldn't it be cheaper to have something that doesn't rely on detection? Well, depends on how you build it. The argument can be made that missiles are damn expensive and use a lot of ammunition, so even though this is general purpose processing power is going to make our resulting plane more expensive, it is, however, going to save money by, not using missiles. So, that is, I don't actually want this at center of mass. I'm also trying to bear in mind that... Oh, wait, I can do this. Oh, I am a genius. The reason I'm using an all-in-one local weapon controller here is so that I can still stick general-purpose processing cards there. If you use the regular one, even though it's attached to the AI directly, you can't attach general-purpose processing cards to it, so that's a bummer. Alright, so let's do this, and probably something like this. Don't want this thing wasting ammo. Don't worry, I'm going to put the bearing rangefinder somewhere else. Okay, so that's our AI compartment. We need engines. I think I'm going to be an intelligent person with the engines over there, but we're going to do a funky thing here. I'm going to put rubber blocks here, and that is a placeholder for something fun and interesting. And I am going to make a plane out of concrete. Reason being, this is going to be quite a small fella. And so it does need some kind of EMP resistance. And this will have to do, probably... Right, so as ever, plane's main defense is being small and hard to hit. How small is this? That's... For some reason, when you start putting blocks around your insidey bits, it looks a lot bigger than it probably actually is. Alright, so I'm going to be a clever person. I like this material combination. This is not compulsory, cannot emphasize that enough. I do like... Actually, you know what? I am going to be an absolute madman and use poles for this, because, like, I have found that, stone poles are weirdly good armor. Not great, but they're better than expected. Did a whole testing video on that. So, cannot emphasize enough, you do not have to do it like this. This is just token heat resistance, so if this thing gets shot at, from above or below with heat or hash, hopefully it doesn't die immediately. It's got no armor stacking, so this is not a flying tank, and you should not consider it as such. If you do, that will be very silly. Okay, then. Also, as ever, this is the way I build things, and if you want to learn how you build things, by gum, you're going to have to practice. Alright, so, we need engines, and we need ammunition. So I'm going to just put a heavy armor beam. This could be a risky thing to do. In fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to do something like this. Alright. We're going to have a little injector engine in here. This thing feels big. I don't want it to be big. And also, by the way, against Hesh, this is a terrible idea, because the inner lining, this is as much EMP proofing as anything else. Hesh is going to murder this thing, because the alloy has a higher armor rating than stone, which means that any spalling from the alloy is going to, from the alloy is going to rip straight through the stone. So this thing should avoid getting shot by Hesh as much as possible. Right, we are going to have a little blast shieldy thing there, and I don't know what to put here. We'll just say that's random space. And dare we dare to dream. Right, so we have some ammunition. There's probably more than we need, and because we're going to have a honking big engine back here, let's see, what can we do? I'm just going to do this. Whoops. Whoops. Double trigger. Right, this is not the most shapy of things. Not the most shapy. Also, a handy trick. You can save some block count by doing this. It's very nice. I'm so happy that people taught me about that trick. Right, we're going to have a little blunt booty back here, because back of plane doesn't need to be super like that. Alright, so blunt back of plane. Right, we need an engine in the front here. And I'm going to stick... We don't need to compartmentalize this, but this is just to reduce... Nah, let's screw it. Let's do... What should we do? What shall we do? What do you... This is only 18 meters long. For some reason, this feels a lot bigger. Right, and I could have done myself a huge favor here by prefabbing, but that would be a good idea. And there's a rule from the depths: if you're building live and talking while you were trying to think of things, what? You want me to build good? Are you nuts? Alright, so now we need to hollow that down. Do that. This is going to be a bit of a brick. Just a gentle brick. Gentle brick. You know, a gentle brick, as opposed to a non-gentle brick. Brace yourselves, here comes an injector engine, because injector engines... like the engine nerds and From the Depths like to talk smack on injector engines a bit. Just like, you know, because you might as well use a steam engine or have a more efficient... I like injector engines, they're simple. Also, steam engines explode spectacularly. And I don't like that. I like my stuff to explode slightly less. Which probably means I should become a pacifist FTD builder and never build anything violent ever again. Because that would be silly. Alright, I need to... Alright, so here's the problem, Doctor. With stuff like this. Alright, how's that cooling? We get about... Oh, we don't actually get much power out of that. I think we might just need to... grit our teeth and actually have exhausts here. So... I think we're gonna do that. Pray for me. Okay. Right. Right, I don't usually like using exhausts, because I picture them a pain in the butt, but this is our one engine and it needs to do a good job. Maybe we can have 2 of these. We should probably have 2 of these. We should probably have 2 of these. Just to be sure. Just to be sure. Just to be sure. Where's the exhaust? I definitely wasn't trying to cover up the fact that I didn't remember where the exhaust section was. You can tell I use that part of the, that part a lot. How are we doing for cost? We're very cheap. Oh, we're so cheap. Lovely. This is, I guess if you wanted to build realistically, you'd vent the exhaust sideways. Alright, so how is our... Steel power is about 1600. That's actually probably more than enough. We probably don't need more than that. I'm going to sneak another little thing in there. And now I'm going to do this. I'm so glad that I left my rubber blocks in there. Right, so some people might be saying here, BorderWise, what are you doing? Like, there are people, and I'm not going to say who, because I don't have to, that are kind of like, they don't believe in using alloy for planes. And certainly what I'm doing now is going to raise some eyebrows, by the way. So if you're a new person watching this, disclaimer again, people do things differently in From the Depths, like a lot. So, yeah, brace for that, a lot. Alright, so how's our fuel access? We need some fuel, we need some fuel. How much fuel do we need? That much. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so dare I seal this whole deal? I'm going to... And because we... Alright, so we've made a kind of plane that's somewhat flat. It's a flat fella, so... Right. Watch me in approximately however long it will be. Look back on this with abject horror. Right. Nice hollow bit over there. Okay, then what do we want here? So 2, 3, and let's do a 2 to 3 transition. For no particular reason, then I want this snoot to look good. You gotta have a good snoot. You simply must. Right, and I don't know what's here. And now we need to think about where our cockpit is. Where do you stick your cockpit? It'll be over here. We can literally deco that, because I have a plan here. A plan. You know what? I'm also gonna make this back part look a little better, because I want to. And sloping is fun, don't you know? Sloping is fun, don't you know? What is back there? Ammo. You know, it's not that important. It's not like it explodes. Okay, yeah, we can get away with this. We can get away with this. Because here's the thing about building in From the Depths. You must build things that make you happy when you look at them. If you do not, you will be unhappy when you look at them, and that's bad. Video game. Why be unhappy with video game? Try and be happy with video game. Alright, and that also... Let's get rid of that. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, that's more of a shape. That's less of a cigar. Slightly further along the line to plane. Alright, so now, we're gonna have that. Now, moment of truth. I'm actually going to... Dare I do that? I don't know if that's going to do the trick. Alright, so now, what do we got here? We got a thing that is 7 meters wide. So, if we make a 7 meter wide propeller... So the actual best place to stick a propeller, our power uses, actually we have more power than we know what to do with, which is good, because that lends itself very well to the second part of my plan here. Which is, we used flares last time. If you have not gone and seen the previous episode of this, do me a huge favor and go do that, because that's where, if you are not sure, you'll be seeing flares get set up. It's reasonably simple. You just have a little missile system drop a thing with decoys on it, set by an ACB or a breadboard, and that's very nice. Speaking of breadboard, we're not controlling this one with breadboard because we don't need to. We don't need to do that thing. Let's go metal. Now let's go alloy. You have no idea how tempted I was to make this thing out of wood. Alright, so now here's the cunning bit. Here is the cunning bit. The cunning bit involves me having a turret. So, I want the wings to basically be made of gun. And the thing with wings, again, like a reminder to people who don't know, wing blocks are kind of not very helpful because they're too good. They give too much lift, which can make your plane uncontrollable. So, really, because Niter has such low gravity and the air is so thick, you can get away just by having enough propulsion and control your altitude with pitch control, and it just generally works much better. It's way simpler. But also, if you put big wings on the outside of that, you increase drag unless it's on a sub-object. So we're going to have wings made of gun. So what are we going to do here? We're going to do this, and we are basically going to have something. Alright, so that's in there, and I've got to think to myself, what a wonderful world. Alright, how many belt-fed autoloaders do I personally want? I want something like this. We don't have to go absolutely nuts, so let's go. And belt-feds specifically. And let's see this. Let us see this. How are we gonna do? Alright, so what we want here, there's a very specific shell that works well for anti-air purposes. It's called, well, hold on, let's rotate this. Let's rotate this. Oh, dang it. I can't do it. I can't do it, Captain. Actually, no, that was fun. Alright, so I like to do this, and let's do this. We can decorate that later if we so choose. So I'm just gonna go, what do we want to do? We want max length as much as possible. 30mm. You'll see that's a very short shell, so this is going to be very nice. It's just going to be 30mm AP heat. So AP heat is just generally a very good shell. It's like, whenever I test shells, I just end up using it like all the time. And we're gonna have, what are we gonna do? We do want it nice and accurate, so visible traces will do the trick. What tracer colors do we want? Let's go yellow. No, let's go orange. Let's go orangey. Yeah. Nice. And length multiplier is fine. I like to set the width a little bit more. And heat penetration metric. This isn't much, by the way. This will get through... How many is that? So, each meter of armor reduces by a square root of armor value. What is the square root of 40? I'm thinking metal. Although, probably this is going to be shooting at not heavily armored targets, at least if we're using it correctly. So let's do that. Let's see, our fire rate is not very good. Need a little bit more cooling. So we're gonna do that like so. And the explodey bit is right there because if hold on. Gods. Alright. Right. It's not what I wanted, but you know what? It'll frickin' do. No shell is loaded. Assign the shell, damn it. Okay, so what do we got here? We got cooling limit, a little bit more recoil absorption, like... So that is a 98.8 millimeter gun. This is going to be a very cheap little plane. Do we want to do better than that is the question. We certainly can. What happens? You know what? I think I might do this. And just add one. Let's have more bullets. You know, just as a treat. Just as a treat. For me. But also for you. Because you're doing very well watching this. Alright, so... okay, that's a little bit much. What can we do here? I have... okay, nope, that did not work very well. Get rid of that. A little bit more cooling required. Because remember, make wing out of gun. And that means the wing is gun. Now that's too much. Okay. And perfect. Okay, 197.7. Good. We're gonna have 2 of these, by the way. 197 because 2 wings. 197.7. And how make look like wing? Make look like wing. Like how make look like wing. Right. We're gonna have to do cunning things here. Wait. I mean, we could just decorate them. That would work. Let's do... Right, I have definitely bollocks this up a little bit. Can I do that? No, I can't. Wait, no. Hold on. Huge brain moment. Does that do it? It does do it. Okay, so you know what this means. This means we can start building our wing like so. And it actually looks like a wing, and that's nice. Alright, so if we do that, we can't do that. And that's annoying. Ah, dang it, that is annoying. This is very annoying. Need to figure something out here. Need to figure something out here. Need to figure something out. Wait, no. I have an idea. I have a large idea. Whoops. The large idea looks like... What is that? That's 2. Alright. Time to go to Applique Panels. This is a good time to mention that I have not actually tried this very specific thing I'm doing right here. Now, why did I leave mirror mode off? Silly me. Alright, 3 meters of applique. Also means that the wing doesn't look too thick. I just realized I did not put detection on this anywhere. I should put detection on this somewhere. But where is the question? Where? Wait, I know where. Hold on a minute. There's a safe gap there. I can indeed do this. Watch this. So this is what I like to do with bearing rangefinders on planes like this, is that you hide the bearing rangefinder inside, like so. This does compromise the EMP insulation a smidge, just a little bit. In fact, it compromises the structural integrity of the whole damn thing. Oh no. Oh no, that's not gonna work. Damn it. Nope. Wait, no. Yes, no. Crap. Oh no. This is meant to be a tutorial of sorts, and yet, we are being flummoxed. We are being slightly flummoxed. Just slightly, mind you, not too badly. What am I going to do there? I'm going to do this. And alloy, like so. Let's just get the wings finished, alright? Let's get the wings finished. We need to figure out our roll control right there. This thing's gonna be interesting. This is going to be an interesting thing. Alright then. So how's your day going? My day is going very well. I'm building a plane. I hope you noticed. If you saw me building a plane and were like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I have news for you. It's a plane. Alright, so now that we've got that, just as a filler, okay, then Let's do this, and this should... Oh, very important thing. Very important thing. This turret is going to be set to that. And limitation of rotation speed is that. The reason being, we don't actually want this turret to rotate at all. I really should have said that sooner. I think people would have been very confused. The reason we're putting that on a turret is so that we don't need to stick local weapon controllers like in the wings themselves, which is super handy. So if we go like so, look at that. The hell you mean not controlled by AI? Get out of here. Okay, which means now we do this. 1, 2, 3. Aha! Look at that! We got our little gun plane. Oh my goodness, this this thing is adorable and stupid. Alright then. Alright! Okay, so we firstly need to go like this. Whoops. Smooth side should be facing upwards. Alright. Aileron is on the right side of the vehicle. Correct. And is on the left side of the vehicle. That should work. I've literally never done that before, but it should work. Alright, so now... also, actually, you know what I should have done here? Oh, damn it. I always think of these things just before the bloody thing runs out. Alright, so now we're going to commit minor interesting heresy. Just a little bit. So, here, local weapon controls again. You have something like this, and then I am going to jam-pack trackers all over this. Where are we? Let's do camera tracker, let's do IR trackers, like so. You'll notice that this is ugly. That is because we just kind of have to live with that. And that should... Maybe we don't need a bearing rangefinder. Maybe that'll do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, oh, oh. Why does love do this to me? Alright. We have some detection. On both sides, in fact. How's our GPPPP? Not good. Okay. Alright. We need to adjust. We need to adjust that because that's too much. We either need 4 more of these things. We can actually... Hold on. Here's the fun bit, is where we shuffle the innards around a little bit. Because we can move that entire engine forward just a smidge. We can actually move it forward by quite a bit, which means we can extend the AI compartment forward just a smidge. Alright, so engine. Extend forward. Wait a minute. If we extend that forward and we can stick bearing rangefinders in the front. Oh, perfect. That'll be really good, actually. Alright, alright. Yoink, and yoink, and yoink. And we just gotta do this, like so. Yeah, I can see what I'm doing. Oh, look at all this extra space. Perfect. Okay, then. This is why you gotta leave a little bit, just a smidge of extra space in your builds, so that you can, so you have room to do things. Alright. So that's like so. And 15. If I do that, nope, that's not gonna work. Alright. I might need to get creative with the fuel a little bit. I might need to get very creative with the fuel. Right, I can do that. And then we can get rid of that, and that is 15. How much is one of these? That is 2, which will be perfect. Okay, that's gonna... Oh, balls. Okay, good thing I thought of that. Well, good thing I noticed that, rather. Alright, I was about to make a mistake there. It's So remember, it's not the stuff up, it is how you deal with the stuff up. That's how we do things around here. That is how we do things around here, around here. And yes, the cockpit is going to be right over... Well, it doesn't have to be. It can be over there. I hope no one was expecting a nice, sleek propeller plane, because unfortunately, From the Depths is a cube-based game, and so sleek and elegant is hard to do when things are less small. Alright, so we got that. Alright. So, we actually don't need that. So, what can we do instead? If we just... I am loath to move this propeller, so... Wait, if it's over here... Yes, oh yes, oh yes. Let's completely compromise. Nope, okay, no. Let's completely compromise our, Yes, it can see past the propeller. Perfect. It's now clipping into the wing. We don't want that. That is rude. So, I'm going to do this. Perfect. Because that is rude. We don't do that. Your mileage may vary on spin clipping like that, but I don't like doing it. It feels wrong, you know? It feels bad. Let's not violate physics too much. Right, what is happening in here? Alright, so we need one of these. And one of these. And that is good. That's good, that's good. Okay then, we've got almost everything we need. We need some pitch control, that's important. How do we do it? This is taking longer than the other bloody plane, and I don't like that. I don't like it. Don't like it. Okay. Gonna do a very basic thing over here. Very basic little tail. I didn't do mirror mode. Didn't do mirror mode. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake, I say. Alright, and now we can absolutely go nuts on some lovely pitch control. This is definitely a plane of some kind. Alright, same thing over here. Let's go nuts in some pitch control. I mean, not pitch control, the other thing. I could have used custom things over there as well. You know what? I should probably put some... what's the word I'm looking for? I should probably put some applique on that. Otherwise, I might have a very bad day. And that's not good. We don't want a bad day. We want a good 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 day. Yes, please. We want a good day. We want a good day. We want a good day. Yes. Alright then. We have a very cheap little friend. And we need to... actually, we need to... Oh, I just remembered something very important. Do we need all that? Oh, that's filter capacity. However, there's just enough room here in the nose for some ACVs, which are... It's fine to stick them here because if it gets hit in the face, it'll be fine. So I'll just show you where these are. Where's the heat? No, not here. No. Countermeasures. All right, so where's the? There it is. We're gonna have a little heat decoy and radar decoy. Just in the back. Where's the radar decoy? It's over... No. Radar decoy control SCP. So it's very simple. If there's an enemy, it sets heat decoys. It just activates decoys. So we have a lot of power left over, so I'm going to crank these up a lot. Let's crank him up to 500. Let's see if that does the trick. That'll probably be more than enough. And if we want to actually... Let's go here. I don't know. They're on this default because sometimes I don't want to set things like that. Alright, so if there's missiles within blah blah blah. And if there's no missile within blah blah blah. I like how I used a prefab and I might as well have not bothered. Okay, if there's an enemy within blah blah blah. If there's missiles or torpedoes with... We'll set heat decoys to there. And missiles, torpedoes, inverted. If there's none, okay, good. Good. But we need, over here, the decoys. So I'm going to stick... What am I going to do? I'm going to stick... a... This is the, like, what do you call it? I'm going to stick one over there. I'm going to stick a heat decoy here. Perfect. And that way it'll be somewhat maneuver. Alright, so we need to firstly find out if this thing's going to fly at all. Probably not going to fly incredibly fast. It's definitely not going to fly very fast. It's very cheap. Deacon's Christmas. It's probably also like way more armored than it actually needs to be. And yes, we are going to put our pilot right where the exhaust is, because you know what? In the BorderWise Air Force, we keep things legit. You know, we probably should also put a chair somewhere on this thing. Let's go. What's this? What's this? The chair. Good news, everyone, is going to go back here. This is the secret chair. There's really not much call to put stuff like this. It's going to have an entirely fake cockpit, so don't worry. It's fake because it doesn't need to be real. Control-Shift-X is for your decoy. Not decoy, what's it called? Decoration, that's the one. And here, same thing. And if you don't like this, well then, you try building small like this. Alright then, and let's just crank that up. This is a cool plane. Alright, I'm gonna put some... Oh wait, thanks for reminding me. We're just going to do this quickly as well. Because otherwise, the ailerons are going to be shot off a little bit too easily. So let's go there. There. Perfect. Their wing turret. Da 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 da. Might have over-armored this. You don't need to do it like this. I am also going to need to make that propeller bigger, aren't I? Or do something cheeky with it. Because that propeller does not look big enough to actually pull this thing along. Or maybe it does, I don't know. Alright, so, just for the sake of aesthetics, we're going to go... What are we going to do? Hashtag camo forest 2. Can never go wrong with forest 2. I'm just going to do that everywhere. There we go. That looks World War II as balls, probably. Alright then, let's save that. This is the first time I've saved that. Don't do what I'm doing here and like save this so late. You never know when this game's gonna poop its pants and crash on you. Okay, complete prop plane. Alright then. So now we're gonna drop this little fella in the drink. It's mostly stone, mostly alloy. Weird things are going to happen to it. So now, let's... what are we going to do here? We want this thing to do an attack run like that. We're going to set that to default for new. And we're going to add airborne 2.0, pitch towards target altitude. And we're going to see if the ailerons are actually working as intended. How are you doing? Not good. Let's get you up and out of the water and see what's going wrong with you, because this is the fun bit of any plane, is problem solving. I think those ailerons might actually not be good enough to control the yaw of this plane at all. Let's see what happens. Oh, there you go. Nope. Alright, so let's now swap. Like I said before, I haven't actually done ailerons on a turret before, so this ailerons are on the right side of the vehicle. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna replace this with actual good control surfaces. And this is gonna be roll left, roll, spread to neighbors. See if this works any better. And roll right. Yes, please, and thank you. Did I just make this thing much more expensive? Not really. Okay, then. This is not going well. Might need to hide the roll controls somewhere else. Or just cut down a little bit. Hold on a second. How am I gonna put this on the internet? I don't even know. 1, 2, 3, 4. We might just need a limited amount of these. Like, I'm literally just gonna use wood for this. Aha! Someone needs to be... Which one is... Whoopsie daisy. Alright, I think I know. If I reverse this one, because it's confused... If I do that... Aha! Ahaha, there you go. And we're going to make this guy do... What are we going to do? We're going to do this. We can scroll up. So this guy's not very quick. Doesn't need to be. Not for our purposes. Very cheap, I do have to say. My goodness. Alright then, so now we're going to inflict this on a fun thing. Can it beat a duster? Can it beat a duster? Can it beat a duster? The answer might shock you. What happened to the duster? Right, we're gonna... What are we gonna do? That seems to work just fine, actually. And hey! Hooray! Look at that! First successful attack run. Alright, so there's funky things you can do with behavior there. Alright, now, because this little guy is so fun, what else can we do here? Let's just see what other planes you can shoot down. Can you... Shrike doesn't really shoot back, and a Gotha is probably going to be too much for this little guy. Alright, let's spawn in a bunch of these little fellas against a Gotha, eh? Let's see what happens. Just set you like so. Let's spawn in 3 of them against a Gotha and see what happens. A little squadron, air superiority squadron. And the Gotha is there. Go forth, my little lads. See how you do. Oh wow, they did it! And they've collided with each other. Oh damn! Hello, look at you! I actually managed to, we can make this guy a little faster, and I think I'm going to. Right, I'm going to do something interesting, because we've got a lot of engine power and we can use it, so I'm going to make the props a little bit bigger. I'm going to rethink my story with this bearing rangefinder. I might just get rid of it completely. Wait, it is clear? Huh? How's it clear? I'm confused. Huh, apparently that's okay? Does this look stupid? No, it doesn't. Alright, cool. We done did it. Alright, now, quick! Shoot down one of these, see what happens. I believe the Felix is a bomber. And flak is why you put, something a little bit like why you, it's a good idea to have, pew pew pew. Wow, this is a very stable plane. Go forth, my little guy! Cue the flying circus music. Whee! Look at our little guy, look at him go! Okay, I think we're successful here. I think this was a successful plane. I didn't think this would take, like, as long as it did. But that's because, as I tend to do, I decided to experiment. Quick! This little guy can't shoot down the Felix all on his own. Call for backup! Go forth, my little planes! Go forth, go brrr! Okay, something exploded. Okay. Why did you explode? Oh, ammunition probably exploded. 30mm AP heat. Really good shell. Anachronistic as hell if you want a nice proper... Whee! Oh, I didn't check the engine power. Oh, the tweaking, it's gonna happen. Hooray, hooray. Ah, this is splendid. Well, let's actually go lock onto one of these guys. Hooray! Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Support me on Patreon or YouTube membership if you like. It really helps, and there's fun perks in it for you. Like at the lowest tier, access to a Patreon exclusive Discord, and at the highest tier, I will even build stuff for you, or draw stuff for you, and also follow me on Twitch, and also, what's the other things? Oh yeah, the other channels. I have a bunch. Mostly VOD channels from aforementioned Twitch streams. But I do art, and I do other video games too. It's a great time, and I would love to see you there. And I hope you learned something from this video, or enjoyed it, or feel inspired, I guess. Gunplanes are actually quite fun. And there's nothing stopping you from putting both guns and missiles on a plane. Nothing at all. I don't know what we're going to do next time for the complete plane building thing. Probably a bomber of some kind, because bombers are actually kind of difficult. Good ones, anyway. Turns out flying right over the top of something is an excellent way to get shot. So, that's gonna be fun. See you then. Have a good one. Farewell. No damn pirate bombers are gonna come and mess with my steez, I tell you.